Hola chicas, soy yo, soy profe, back at it again with a new video. And today, well, it should be tonight for you guys. Tonight, we are working on another type of verb. Today we're working on AR verbs. Examples of AR verbs would be hablar, we know that means to talk. Okay. We also have tocar, which we know in Spanish too means to touch. And we also lastly know jugar, which we know in Spanish too as well. That means to play. Okay? So one thing that all these three of the words have in common is their ending. They end in AR, right? Are. Okay? So these are the endings. And we also know estar, but remember estar is a little bit irregular compared to these verbs, so they're a little bit of the same. So I'm going to include it just for now so we can see how it works, okay? And we know that means to be. Okay? So I'm going to step over here. When we're doing any type of conjugations, we're going to take, for example, I'm going to take hablar. I'm going to have hablar here. And we are going to chop off the ending. And now we have habla. 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 Okay? And then we are going to put the ending that goes with the word. So we have the different endings that I'm about to tell you. And each ending corresponds to the subject of the sentence, like we've been working with before. So for AR, for the yo form, you add on. I'm actually about to just make my little square. Remember our square? We have our different subjects, right? So for yo, you would add on an O. Okay, for two, you add on as. For él, ella, or usted, put that there. For él, you just put a. Okay? For nosotros, you would put amos. For vosotros, you would put ice. And then for ustedes or ellos, you would put on. Okay? So, give me 1 second and we're going to work on this together with the word hablar. And what I'm going to do with hablar will work with any regular AR verb. For example, tocar y jugar. They will all work, okay? This strategy will work, okay? Just give me 1 second. Alrighty. So I'm going to keep this up here just so we can see how it works, right? So if I were to say, I talk, I'll say, I talk. I would write, hablo. Okay? Remember, we're taking it from hablar, and when we're conjugating hablar, we take the ending off. So there was an AR here, but I took it off because we're conjugating. So we just don't need that. We don't need that part right now. So we have hablo, and that means I talk. So you talk. We have hablas. See how we have that O and us from our chart. Okay? I'm going to do the singular they. So they talk. I'll have habla. Singular they. So habla. We have the there. And then for we talk. We have hablamos. And then for the plural they, I'm going to just put a P for plural. It'll be, we have our on there, it'll be hablan. Alrighty? So again, remember we have our endings here. Well, the first part of the word still stays the same. Let's try it out together again. But with a different word. We're going to try it out with tocar. I would like for you guys to write this part down so I can see it in the morning. Well, or afternoon. Just the next day. So tocar. So, which would mean, we know it means to touch. So I touch. We would do toco. Why would we do toco? Because tocar, we have the ending here. We can just take off this ending. We have to. And we pick up this ending because we're talking about yo. So I touch, toco. You touch. Would be tocas. So we have the us. From here, it came from here. Alrighty, and then we have, let's just say he touches. We have toca. Nosotros, so we touch. Tocamos. And then, last but not least, they touch, the plural they. Tocan. Alrighty? So, I'm going to write up jugad, and I will give you guys a couple of seconds. Well, pause the video after I write it up there. And I would like for you all to just, with the help of this chart, to write down the conjugation to it with the word we've never seen before. You ready? I know you can do it. We have cocinar. Cocinar. Cocinar means to cook. So I'll put this in parentheses. Alright, so what I would like for you guys to do is I would like for you to, I'm going to write down on the board the first part of it, and I'd like for you guys to complete the second half. Right, so we're going to have I cook. You cook. She cooks. We cook. And then they cook. So please, pause the video here and I will be back help you guys out in just a minute, but I would like for you guys to write this down just so I can see that you watched this video. Okay? Great. Now that we are back, we get to do this together. So what is the first thing that you do when you're conjugating? That is right. We take off the ending. So now we have cosina, cosine, right? We don't have the R just yet because we don't need that anymore because we're conjugating, right? So for our first one, we would see that our subject is I, which in Spanish is yo. So we would say, for the first one, we say yo cocino. And there's that O again, and that's where we would figure it out, right? So we have this chart here for AR verbs. We have tú, cocinas. Ella, because that's she, right? So we have ella. Cocina. Nosotros. So nosotros. Cocinamos. No, I'm gonna write it again just underneath. Cocinamos. Cocinamos. Put the amos here. So should do this and amos. And then we have for ellos, we say ellos cocinan. We have that on right there. Alrighty, so please make sure you comment with any questions mañana, and I cannot wait to see you. Ciao!